Hey YouTube, Evil Twin X back again, and as you may have guessed, I've been bitten by the blacksmithing bug, and one of the issues I have is sound, because I can really only do my blacksmithing late at night, but I think I have a solution to that, and that's what this episode is all about. I am going to attempt to build the world's smallest and quietest smithy in existence. So this is a shed that I built a while ago. It's an 8x16 shed, and I'm going to take a part of this shed and see if I can convert it into a blacksmith shop. So what I did is I cleared out this corner, about a third of the shed, kind of smashed everything over to one side as best I could, and this is where I'm going to set up shop. It's roughly 34 square feet, or about 8 feet long and a little over 4.5 feet wide. This is a rough layout of how I think it's going to be set up. That board on the bottom is sort of where I'm going to put up a partition. So basically, because I can only do this at night, that's the only free time I have, I'm going to try to soundproof this. I picked out this rock wool insulation that is both fire resistant and a good sound barrier. Also, I bought these Harbor Freight work mats, and I'm going to lay them down on the floor to try and dampen any vibration. So most likely this is going to be a temporary setup, so I want to not put a lot of money into this. So here's some corrugated metal roofing that came off an old barn that my dad gave me, and I'm going to try and use that for some the walls. And I also have leftover building material from when I did the shed, a lot of odds and ends, plywood and 2x4s, and I'm going to see how much of this I can use. So one thing I did with the wood, I had a ton of scraps and I didn't want to go ahead and buy more wood. So since this is just a small partition, what I did is I made these sort of cuts, and I filed to get a good decent fit, and then I used some construction adhesive to glue these together. And wherever I got a little bit of a gap, I had mixed up some sawdust and some of the wood glue, and I made like a paste and filled in some of the gaps. So I first started laying out the partition, and instead of nailing everything together, I'm going to screw them in. I have various size screws, because once again I want this to be temporary, and if I need to pull this down, it'll be easy to do. Well, I got the partition together. It's not screwed in place, just temporary. Okay, it's another night. It's actually a very cold night. I have brought in my little space heater. I got the partition up. So the rock wool is supposed to be really good at absorbing a lot of sound, and it was actually really easy to work with. It cuts real easy. I just kind of used a metal ruler and this long X-Acto blade, and I would just slice right through it. Made nice little neat pieces. And I have to say, just from putting the insulation on the wall and having that bag open, it was definitely a noticeable drop in echo. And it goes up really quick, really fast. So there's the partition and the wall next to it. So making progress. This is over a few nights, because I do this at night when everybody is asleep. An hour here, 45 minutes there. So this is another night, and I have all the walls insulated, and I started to put up the metal corrugated sheets that my dad gave me. And even this one has a really cool logo on it, so I decided to keep that one in the front. So another night, some more progress. These sheets go up pretty easy. I thought I would have to pre-drill them, but just using my drill and just putting pressure on the screws, it goes right through the metal pretty easily. And even cutting the metal was pretty easy. Angle grinder, 4.5-inch angle grinder, cut through it like butter. Well, after a few nights, here's my progress. So, have the walls all done. I left out plywood because I want to have some place where I can like hang things or nail something in. So around the forge it'll be floor to ceiling metal, and around the anvil half metal, half plywood. So very cool. Here's the anvil. The forge is right there. I did a sound test. I had somebody bang some metal on the anvil with the shed door closed, and I was a little upset that it was still kind of loud. So I decided to build a door, and I'm going to soundproof that door as well. And now once again, I'm just trying to use all the scrap 2x4s that I have laying around. I'm not even going to glue these together. They're just going to screw right into this sheet of OSB that I had cut to size. So I thought about how I'm going to make this door work, and I thought about a hanging door, but I decided to buy these casters from Harbor Freight, and it's actually going to roll on these. And I'm going to inset this 2x4 so they hide the casters behind the OSB, and I'm just going to eyeball things as best as I can. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And here I am doing a test run. Everything seems to work. Actually, I was surprised how well it did work. It tracked pretty straight. So now I'm going to finish it up. Here I put in the rock wool, so it'll be nice and quiet, hopefully. So here's the door fully assembled and in place, and I'm quite pleased with it. It operates very smoothly. You can see I'm just doing it with a couple of fingers. Very easy to move. Very happy with it. And just to keep it on track, I installed a piece of a 2x4, and that keeps everything nice and aligned. It's pretty solid too. Well, that is it for this episode. I do need to address a few things. One thing is the anvil. The anvil itself is pretty quiet, but as you can see from me just stomping my foot, I have a thumping issue. And I also have to figure out how do I fire up this forge inside this little shed safely. I think I need to do some sheet metal work and do some black piping. And that'll be for the next episode. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Evil Twin X signing off.